What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky Quickie, we're going to do a twofer. This is going to be a tale of two Lukes. We've got this version, which is the Luke Sky... Whoa. There's a typo. Skywalker. Whoa. Yavin Ceremony 1, and the Luke Skywalker Strikes comic book version, I guess. So this is a Gamestop exclusive. This is just number 100, but I love the fact that has a typo. I have to get a picture of that and send it to people and make sure. But the whole main reason for me to do these two is these are essentially the exact same figure, just comes with different accessories. The main accessory that this one comes with, that one doesn't, is that little ceremonial medal there. So real quick, I will turn this around and we'll look at the different things here. So on Yavin 4, the rebels hold a ceremony to award the heroes who bravely fought and destroyed its Death Star. Luke Skywalker receives his medal from the bravery of Princess Leia. Yep, that was the thing that happened. And then Luke Skywalker and the ragtag rebels opposing the Galactic Empire are fresh off their biggest victory so far, the destruction of the massive Death Star, but the Empire is not toppled yet. When a rebel assault goes wrong, Han and Leia must think fast to make their escape, and Luke comes face to face with Darth Vader. In an explosive aftermath, humbled like Luke returns to Tatooine to learn more about his mentor, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So this is a comic book that is like post A New Hope, stuff like that. So I don't know much about that, but it comes with stuff in there. So we're going to take a look at these side by side. And we got the Luke Skywalker, which I love the fact that has a typo. How did that get out of the factory? That's amazing. And yeah, so basically 2 Lukes for the cost of 2 or more Lukes. So, yeah. And boom. So, our 2 Lukies here are exactly the same body mold. And I gave the one the lightsaber so we could really tell the difference. As far as I can tell, the head sculpt is exactly the same, perhaps. No, the hair is different. What's going on here? So we've got... Hold on, I'm going to pull in here. It's a very similar face sculpt, but this one looks better. And look at the hairline. Super different. But this one is one that's meant to also have a helmet, so... Okay, like, it's a very, very similar one. His nose is a little more squat. The hairline is very different. So the hair sculpt seems to be almost identical. I say almost. It's really close. Though, from everything I can tell otherwise, the body is identical. So the same jacket, the same black shirt underneath, same belt with the same thing there. And once again, this medal being the only real accessory this one comes with. They both come with the same blaster, though I don't recall Luke ever using said blaster. Maybe he tried to in Empire, I don't remember. But I will say, like, the gun, having a barrel that long, and then, of course, probably like a flash hider or something like that on the end of it, and then trying to draw that out of a holster would be incredibly difficult if you were in a real fight. Now, if you were sneaky and stuff like that, sure, you got plenty of time to pull it. Now, one thing that you'll notice that's very similar to something else we've looked at is, of course, the legs. So we got big black boots, we got brown pants with some yellow stripage on the side, which looks really, really similar to... I'm going to have him lean up against the other one there, our Bespin Han. Now, I'm not saying they're the exact same mold, but it's pretty similar. Like, other than where the holster ends up, and then, of course, the added belt addition, stuff like that, it's a very, very similar mold. But he's also shorter. You can see the legs are shorter, so I could almost see them shrinking it down just a hair, or at least using it as a basis to sculpt the next one. Now, of course, they were wearing the same type of pants, so I definitely can't, hold it against them. So, but this is a very cool Han. This is still one of my favorite ones. I need more Hans. That's like the only Han I have. I don't even have old Han. But like I said, essentially the same thing. But it wasn't until now where I noticed his forehead is significantly more prominent. He does come with the lightsaber that we are definitely familiar with from other Lukes. And this one does just come with the medal that is just strapped to the head. So you can totally remove that and, nothing different. I kind of wish that the strap was made of fabric so it hung with a little bit of weight, but it is what it is. I'm not even going to bother with articulation. Doesn't look like he's got a lot. Looks like just ball joint mounted head. Same kind of arms. Legs aren't encumbered by much. The arms are just single jointed elbows, so they're going to be kind of whatever. And then pistol holding hand and regular gripping hand. And so really it's this Luke we're more interested in, but this one actually has a much better Mark Hamill face sculpt, and we'll be comparing like all the Lukes that I've got so far soon. Now, one thing that I've always had an issue with these is that you can't really dual wield the lightsaber worth a damn with most of these, so I'm gonna put it in his one hand like so. Now he does come with all of the accessories. Start out with a pretty basic one here with the helmet with the flash or not flash hider, blast door, I think is what they called it. Basically, it's just to blind him so that he can train. Now, this is essentially the exact same helmet that we got with Pilot Luke, but with a few modifications. It doesn't have a chin strap or anything like that. It actually might be a hair smaller, but the mold is almost exactly the same. You can still got the Red Squadron thing. And of course, you have that coming down instead of the regular visor. And it can go over his head, but it is super tight. Like, this is scrapingly tight. You can even see the nose poking through, but you can get the kind of blinded training sequence, for which you need the little hover droid or whatever it's called, little blaster training droid. So this little thing can fly around him and, you know, fire little laser bolts at him. So say I have that there, and he's still trying to sense it with the Force to train, you do get a blast effect. Now, we're fairly used to these from Transformers and things like that. But in this case, this actually clips onto the lightsaber. So it's being shot at, like so. He's blocking it. You can just kind of, however you want to do it, it doesn't really matter. And this thing does have a tiny little hole right there. So part of me wonders if you can't, like, plug that in, perhaps. Like if you did it just right, something like that. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it works. I mean, it's very fixed. You can only do so much with it. This is just plugged into. Oh, that's stuck on the stand, so there's no changing that. But you just have the ball joint down here, so you can kind of get it into a position where he's doing something. It is what it is. Probably never going to use this, but it's an interesting thing that you can do. Now, as the comic kind of on the side of the box showed, you can see him taking a whole bunch of shots, like he's got 3 of them around him. So that's pretty cool. Now, aside from those things that I'll probably, once again, never use, I'm worried that's going to scrape hair paint off. You do get what I assume he got after going back and talking to Ben for a little while, or investigating him after everything. So this is a briefcase of sorts, and got some writing on it. Don't know what it says. And if you open it up, and I made this assumption, there weren't any instructions, that the kind of Jedi textbook there, which I think is one of the ones that was in episode 8. I'll try to find it, see if there is an image of it. If not, it is what it is. But it looks pretty cool. Molded in pages. It's all gruddy. It's got the nice molded in lettering, stuff like that. But I like that you can put it in a big old box. If you want to, you can probably put the lightsaber in there too. But that's neat. So you get a good bit of cool stuff with this version. And then that version, which, you know, is what it is, comes with less. Now, the thing is, of course, that's a standard figure, and this is an exclusive, so to speak. So it's possible that you could get both in the same place. So let me move this over to here. And let's do a comparison of all the Lukes so far. So here is Archive Series Pilot Luke with the not-so-great head sculpt. Actually, his face looks half melted. Here is the other episode, or New Hope Luke from being a stormtrooper, who's taller, also not a great head sculpt. And finally, exclusive Jedi Knight Luke, who's stuck behind a helmet there. So it's funny how many Lukes come with a helmet. So I think that so far the best head sculpts are this one and that one. I think it's pretty cool. Now I don't have any old man Luke because I didn't see one that was actually that good, if I'm honest. But as it goes, that's a pretty good collection of Lukes, and I'm sure we're gonna get more down the line. We need one where he's in when he's in the Arctic suit from Hoth, stuff like that. And of course, throw in our buddy Han there, just on the side. It's pretty neat. But let me know what you guys think. I didn't realize there were two different head sculpts. Which one do you think is a better thing for your money? So this one, while it costs a little bit more and it's from GameStop, you do get a buttload of accessories. But how hard would it have been to just give us that medal along with it? So you got the Yavin ceremony, you got post Yavin ceremony, and an outfit that we only saw in that one movie. So I guess the comic books kept it going, so to speak. And out of this version, or this, and out of this selection of Lukes, which one is your favorite? I'm leaning towards Jedi Knight Luke for the most part, but it's not that I'm not a fan of, I think, at least this one. I think if you threw that head sculpt on that body and just added the metal to it, I think it'd be a little bit better. I'm trying to figure out if that's an error or that is in fact a slightly different head sculpt. You guys let me know what you think or what you may or may not know. But that's going to be it for this review. Give me a big old thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. And of course, if you want to help this channel and my main one continue to go after the child apocalypse happens, because I still, at this point of filming, have no idea what's going to happen for the future and may need to relocate a lot of things over to the Patreon. So by all means, even for $1 a month, you could definitely help the channel keep going forward. But I'll see you guys on the next review. And remember, as always, to keep on nerding, and may the Force be with you.